Good morning, everyone. I think this draw, which is draw 14 of Grits and Granite, here at AM on Sunday, I'm going to try to commentate. Um, if you can comment on the YouTube channel, if you can hear me, and if you have any questions, I'll have that up as the output. Um, so, anyway, everybody's excited here. This is the E and F, or fifth and sixth event semifinal. We have, I'm going to get the names of all the teams up. So on sheet A, we have Matt Wall from Knoxville, and their team name is Knoxville. And then they're throwing red rocks. And then yellow rocks are another one sweeps the dust, the Atlanta Curling Club. Jeff Canodal and his whole family, they're throwing yellow rocks. And then sheet B is the B-52s, Cleveland Skating Club, Neil Simpson, throwing red rocks. And then throwing yellow rocks is Team Crosby from Peachtree, Bobby Crosby. Sheet C, Raiders of the Last Rock, Bill Marshall, and from Palmetto Club, throwing against Andy Spear, the Rocket City Curling Club. Sheet D, Fred Lockett from Triangle Curling Club, throwing red rocks against Kiss My Grits, Atlanta Curling Club, and Dan O2. Looks like our first rock on sheet D is being thrown. So we're going to start the timer. We have a timer in the bottom corner. And we're going to get it started here in a second. Yep. And you're going to hear some background noise from the warm room. I decided to we put the threshold way up, so hopefully you could just hear my. But as people get louder in the warm room, you'll hear that background noise. I'm going to focus on sheet D, which is the uh, uh, E semifinal with Fred Lockinger and Dan O'Toole, mainly because that's the easiest one for me to see. The sheets are across the way. As we gain more capability, then we'll be able to focus on sheet B or C. So looks like yellow threw up a corner guard, and red tried to throw in with just a biter on the edge of the house. This is our eighth Grits and Granite. Um, the theme was 80s. We had an 80s prom last night. If you weren't with us, then they, they, the costumes were amazing. You can look at Charlotte Curling and get some of those out there. Red threw in, and it looks like Fred's calling for a takeout. They're sweeping pretty hard on that. We've noticed that there's been a good 4 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet of curl. And if we're throwing at weight, then of course that curls less. Oh, very close. It looks like they were planning on that curl that we've been talking to, and just straightened up there at the end. So looks like Fred's calling for another either guarded or in. So those of you that are joining us from around the interwebs, this is our signature event here at the Charlotte Curling Association. It was founded as the Charlotte Curling Center Club. I'm sorry, Charlotte Senate Curling Club in February 2010. And now we have about 250 members. So they did try to guard that up, and it's a nice tight guard, a 3 guard we call it. We're going to try that takeout again with a little different ice, different handle. So looks like he's got the weight on it. They're just sweeping. Clean, clean, clean. And hit. And a nice roll under there to put it in the top of the 8. If anybody's out there kind of seeing if my commentary, I did put a delay on it, so hopefully the commentary lines up with the video, but if it doesn't, let me know. It definitely looks like there's no one waking up at 8 a.m. to hear this draw, but as you go and replay, we will be updating the live scoring. So I'm doing that in addition to commentating. So at the end of each of these first ends, there will be some time where there's just some silence of me making sure that the points and ends are correct. There is a timer in the left-hand corner, and this rarely comes into play. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. The rules for this bonspiel that you cannot start and end after 15 minutes are left, and that if we're tied after 8 ends, then we go to skip stones. So looks like we're on to Vice Rocks, and looks like we're tapping up. Fred's called a red tap up. Over curled there a bit, but had good weight, so it knocked another in. Seemed to be happy. Dan looks like he he's called a takeout for his Vice. Looks like it's got just a bit wide. Still staying there. Might get both. We'll see. Yep, definitely hit both. And they are staying. They're staying. Oh, it looked like Dan was able to sweep that. It's hard to tell if it's biter on the other end. Carl Blitz is in the hack. I'm supposed to say his name wrong for 2 hours. They are not sweeping it down the sheet. And we'll mute myself just for a second. So as we get to first skip stones, looks like red has hammer. Dan comes out of the hack. Looks like he's on broom. Gets out in the 12 foot and didn't quite come back as much as he wanted. So a little bit of a, it's on the edge of that 12. So all the ones on the outside, it looks like that yellow is counting them. So as Fred states, it's counting. It looked like they talked about a takeout. Let's take this out. Make Dan draw against a big number. So I want to introduce you to these sheet D teams. As Fred makes this first delivery, it's got good weight. No sweepers are on it. As they come past the hog line, it's diving over just a bit. It's going to hit on the inside of that. Ooh, man, it moved a lot at the end. So he did get the takeout. So it looks like Fred's going to be on a. I'm not going to yell count them up yet because we got a little bit of work to do. Dan comes out of the hack. Looks like he's got a good bit of weight. It's on the inside of the 4 foot, and that thing is kind of moving out. It's gonna dive over, and it just went through. So it looks like Fred has an open draw for either 4 or 5. I can't tell if the one on the way right. We do have our cameras going, but we don't know if that one's counting or not. So the Fred Lockinger 10 has Carl Biltz, Make Hazer, and Beth Hazer. They're all from the Triangle Curling Club. We have a lot of triangle teams here, and as the draws go through the day, you'll hear some of those others. Matt Wall's team also has from the Great Smoky Mountains Curling Club in Knoxville also has a couple triangle teams, or a couple triangle curlers. And it looks like it got a little bit of that. All right, so I'm gonna mute, and it looks like most of the first ends are coming up. So as they hang that score, and it looks like they got 5 on the first end. So these folks will be playing again. They will. The winners of the E and the F are going to be playing in the E and in the F for the 5th and the 6th event finals. And that draw is at 10:45. And then our finals should be at 1:30. So our A, B, C, and D event finals are all going to be there. So our C and D are third and fourth event semifinals are coming up. It just looks like on sheet C, we've got uh, Rocket City Club, which also has a little Orlando flair. Or I don't know how you mash up Rocket City and Orlando. We do have quite a good relationship with those folks here at the Charlotte Curling Club, Charlotte Curling Association. All right, back on sheet D, we got a corner guard set up by Fred and the Triangle folks. And then Dan O'Toole brought his first lead rock into the rings, on the left hand side of the rings. And it looks like Fred called to just sit on it to actually try to freeze right on top of it. If you get behind the tee line, uh, generally only bad things can happen. The idea is those of you that are watching curling, you get behind the tee line and that little nudge on there just moved it further back, further away from the center of the rings. Looks like Dan's calling to follow it in. That rock was a little, just ever so slightly heavy. Wasn't It was a very nice shot, but it was still a little bit behind the tee line. So Dan said, "What's good for you, Fred, I can do too." So gonna bring it on back. Oh, he's got him on the sweep hard. Hard. It's running really well. And very nice. Really, really good. A lot of times curlers, those of you that are new, um, you know, we're not going to be cheering, whooping, and hollering on the ice, but if you raise your hand or raise your broom, that's kind of like, whoop, whoop, you got it there. You had a good shot. So we're still playing on this to the curler's right, our left. We're still playing over here in the corner, and it's oh, and he's trying to really close. Yeah, it was he was trying to hit that yellow out, but it just hung there just for a bit and hit his own stone out of play. So no. So I'm going to be changing some scores here. So looks like this takeout has good weight. They're sweeping it hard, sweeping it hard, sweeping it hard. Ugh, really close. Really close. It just over curled there a bit at the end. I know from experience on these 8 a.m. draws, getting up and having your skip go, oh, by the way, we want you to throw normal or higher weight takeout in the first couple ends. Pretty tough. So now this one, they're looking at it and looks like it's a little hot, coming in hot, but it's on top of their other. So, oh my goodness, what? Oh, almost a perfect freeze. It just did bounce a bit. So Dan's gonna call this takeout again. Looks like a lot of one enders this morning. A lot of rocks in play on that first end, but uh, there you go. Dan gets the takeout that he's been asking for. So now we're gonna play to the middle. We really appreciate everybody joining us this weekend on our live stream. This is a big shout out to Ryan Smith this week. He's built a computer, got there. Oh, it jammed. Asked for that. Came with the right weight, just didn't hit it nose. So it just slid off there, and we call that a jam. So it just kind of, you wanted to get that takeout, put that back one there. So it looks like Dan has a really nice sand shaping up. I know normally the featured sheet is going to be B or C, and we're going to work towards that. We just have one output computer and one output screen. In the future, we'll have about 3 or 4 screens, so we'll have some really good views of the center sheets, and we'll make that the featured sheet. But if you're just now joining us, then we are featuring sheet D, which is Fred Lockinger and his team from Triangle, and Dan O'Toole, team from Triangle. Fred's team got a big first end. Um, well, Fred's got him on the sweep as he comes in there. Up, he's down, and it's a nose hit. Yep, really nice. I took that play over to outside the 4 foot. Yep, Dan. Dan's giving him the. If you ever see Skip put his hand over his head, it means throw it as hard as you can. We call that having fun on my team on Monday nights. Have as much fun as you can have. Throw it as hard as you want. Of course, don't miss the broom. So they're sweeping it hard. They're sweeping it hard. We're worried about this curl. And it took out one of theirs. So it's good weight. Just over curled just a bit. So now we have one scoring, one red scoring right now, and one yellow just on the edge of the 8 and the 12 foot. Looks like Fred's getting in the hack, looking to guard this up. Looks like they're on it pretty hard. He's looking for a top 12 there. Yep. There it is. Well, looks like that is sitting second shot. I guess. Well, it's very close. So second or third shot. It looks like that red rock is just with the overhead shot. It looks like it's a bit closer. So sitting second and third. So looks like Dan has a open draw for one, or he has a little backing. Oh, I forgot to change the YouTube. This is draw 14, not draw 13. So it's gonna take second to get that changed online. I forgot to change the YouTube. This is draw 14, not draw 13. So, is anybody, oh, it's just over, just a little bit heavy. Just a little bit heavy, so. Second skips routes. Looks like Red's sitting 1 and 2. So he's going to try and get that guarded up there. It's coming in. They've got it up. Looks just a bit heavy. And Carl's going to get on the broom. Sweep it, sweep it, sweep it. All right, well, he's sitting 3. So now Mr. O'Toole has to try and draw against 3. It's always a tough thing. Looking across the street, it looks like we have a lot of guards in play. And curling, lots of guards means lots of aggression, trying to score a lot of points. Sometimes, though, if we have some folks that are a little tired or partied too hard last night, and then they are going to throw a few more guards. So, looks like yeah, Fred made that nice draw with a little backing, and he got his 1. Got his 1. So we're going to the third end with Fred up 5-1. I don't know if we'll have commentary the whole day. We will, as the warm room fills in with the finals, it's going to be a little tougher to commentate because all the ambient noise from the warm room, the people that are yelling and screaming, it will come through on the broadcast here. Going to move over as we go to the third end. We're going to move over to sheet C. This is the Marshall Palmetto versus Spear and Rocket City. And as they're coming down for their second end, it looks like they're on first Rice Rocks. No, second Vice Rocks. Sorry. And yellow has Hammer. But red's got 1 in the top 12 and 1 in the back 12. Kind of guarded up. So Brad Force has got him on the sweep. Sweeping hard. Getting them through. Oh. Yep. Really hard. Not trying to take that top one, but it did. And it rolls to shot right in the middle. Back to sheet G. Looks like this is the first. It just hangs in the back 12. Hangs in the back 12. Looks like he was having them on sweep that to the back. Looks like on sheet B, Simpson got there 2. They haven't hung their score yet. Just looked out of the corner of my eye and I saw that last shot. It was a nice raise, nice corner raise there to get there 2. Couldn't tell if there was one counting in the back, so I'll hold off changing that score. But coming back to sheet D, they did get that takeout on that. Um, I know Tool Yellow Rocket's still biting in the back, so looks like they're standing at the hog line, staring at it, willing it to slow down just a bit. Dan's sweeping hard. 6 feet of fury. 6 feet of fury. Oh, and still out counting that yellow one. So back to the 12. Nobody said whether my commentary is running a little late or a little early or as it's happening. So either we're too tired to comment or it's pretty good. So, so we're on to seconds rock. Fred called a takeout. Looks like he's trying to take out that back one, or it's coming back towards him. And we're wanting it to curl just a little bit more. And oh, well, but he got the bounce and almost got the double, got the other one. So they will definitely take that. Uh, yep, just so it looks like Dan still has one in the back 12. So he's going to try and guard that up. It looks like Simpson did get her two there. Get there two in there in the second. And sheet A is all tied up. Going into the third end. I know you guys can't see the score, so I'll try to update that as quick as I can. Seems like my voice is coming through loud and clear. We've tested it on a couple of devices now, so I'm trying to stay pretty quiet. And there they go. Almost got both. Got that just a left of nose, so we call that the low side. So there's a high side and a low side. So if you're curling and you're spinning the rock towards that the object rock that you're trying to hit, if you hit it on the side of the curl, then we call that high side. It's going to bounce less because it's going to transfer more of that energy to that rock and have less left. And then if you are hitting it past nose or past the center of the rock, then we call that low side. And if it hits on the low side, it's going to transfer less of that energy to the rock. It's also going to spin a lot more. So it'll kind of, if you don't want that object rock or you don't want that the shooter rock to stay, then you'll tend to call low side. And if you want that shooter rock to stay most times, then you will call that high side. If you get too far away from the nose, it doesn't matter where you hit it. It's going to there. So looks like Fred has Carl. Fred has Carl in the hack. Throwing a big weight takeout. He's trying to get both of them. So looks like he's on broom. And Fred doesn't have him sweeping much. So we're just trying to get a little tick here and may tick both and then stick. And there you go. Nice shot, Carl. Getting that double takeout. And it looks like we're on to the third end on sheet C. I love that at 8 a.m. we still have all of our wonderful outfits going on here at the Charlotte Curling Association. All of our spiels, even if it's our most competitive spiel, we're still going to have some costumes out on the ice. So looks like Dan had him off, so he had him sweeping early for line and then off, and he just wants it there in the 12 foot, uh, maybe sitting shot or shot, second shot. Fred called for him to hit and roll over. Again, just like we talked about earlier, he's wanting to hit the high side here, so he doesn't get a big roll. He just gets the roll that he needs right over in front there. So, Carl's in the hack. Looks like the sweepers are on it. Got him on it really hard, really hard. So now it's kind of over curling, and he did tick it. Let's see if he gets out. Gets out. Gets Fred. Okay, he did move that from shot to second shot. Looks like we're all tied up on sheet C. Going to the third end. So we did get a looks like the O'Toole team is sweeping hard as they're coming from the hog line. They're trying to get that to curl in and drag it in as far as they can. All three sweeper. Man, nice sweep. Got it in to that 12 foot. Got it into that 12 foot. Blue rings are 12. White rings are 8. Red rings are 4. And the button's 2 foot. So each of the rings are 2 feet wide. But since they are on either side of the button, so it ends up being 4 feet total. Looks like Fred's got to draw either to the top 4 or back to the back one. So as he slides out. They like the broom. They like the broom. They want it to curl just a bit more, so no sweeping through the hog to hog. Taking a quick look at it. As it comes in, just a bit heavy, but that's going to be nice. It's sitting 1 and 2, again putting Dan in a really tough position. You know, putting them. Your idea is that you want to be able to get, you know, with Fred having hammer, you want something undercover. So. We have some big plans for our streaming as we go. This is definitely version 1.0. We have the non proprietary version, the free version, free trial of VMix. Up there's Dan's release, and it's got lots of weight, kind of moving out as it goes along. He knocked his own out. I will. So as Fred slides down and getting the hack, he's looking at another big end here. Oh, just got 2 undercover from the yellow. So looks like the same line. Maybe just, oh, he just moved him in just a bit. So he's trying to get perfect shot would, in my opinion, would be just kind of top four here. Make him take his one, or to make him have to do a hard double for his one. So as Fred comes out and slides out, looks like they're not on it. Looks like the ice is speeding up quite a bit. Got a nice little curl there. And just keeps getting a little quicker and a little quicker. So he just knocked that one out. Oh, that was his second seven skip rock, so that was his draw for three. And so we go to the fourth end with a score Lockinger 8, Dano 2-1. I will try to move over and go ahead and introduce you to our sheet C folks. So as because I have a good look at that. We don't have a huge warm room here. We got about 10 folks. About 8 of those are Charlotte Curling members that either did the ice or made the coffee or got the warm room set up, or our draw master Eric Cable. Shout out to him. He does a really good job. Has all kinds of wonderful spreadsheets to let everybody know where they're at in this. This is not pool play. We play up and play down, so it's a 3-game guarantee. So you could win or lose your first two. That determines what draw you're in, and then as you win, you stay in. So if you were to lose your first two, you stay in the fifth. Oh, on sheet D, it looked like one of those rocks picked. Looked like that picked, and it almost is going to hit the rail. Yeah, we must have hit something there on the middle of the ice. I know you guys can't see it, but from hog to hog, and got about halfway down and just took a little duck hook right there. So we're going to move to sheet C, since that these teams are in a battle right here, starting on the third end, or actually most of the way through the third end. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to those folks. So Bill and Linda Marshall are the back end of the Red Rocks, and Kevin Crawford and Lori Crawford, so a couple of couples, although that's a proprietary team name of the Triangle Curling Club. Sorry about that. And our friends from Rocket City, Andy Spear and Elizabeth Tanner, Sarah Spear and Brian Petard. Brian Petard's from the Orlando Curling Club. He said, I talked to him this morning, did a very in-depth interview and said, how'd you end up with the Rocket City folks? And he goes, they called me. How could I say no? So we got a nice little end shaping up here. We got 2 in the 8 foot, so 1 red, 1 yellow. Looks like the yellow is out counting the red just from my monitor and where I can see them on the ice. Linda Marshall, vice of the Marshall team, curls in. Looks like they're trying to either top up that red or guard it, so they must think they're shot. Oh, looks like it's he's got him on the broom. Sweep hard. A lot of times all 3 sweepers are on it. Linda's shot's coming in very nicely. Very nicely. Kind of going to split that house a little bit. Call it splitting the house. We want just to give some space. Makes that takeout a lot harder when you provide space in the house. And rocks that are very close to 45-degree angles or very close to even, those are the hardest stones to take out. It's not impossible. You throw enough weight, shoot it out of a cannon, you can definitely do that there. So it looks like Andy is calling just a button shot. He wants from Brian. Button shot from Brian. as he gets into the hack. Oh, are on it a lot. Spin just looks like it's for line. You got to sweep in the whole way. Both like up. And he's got him up really hard, really hard. And it curls over and just taps that red back to be shot. But it looks like yellow is now second and third shot. So a little different setup there. Kind of move the rocks around. Instead of being 2 and 3, now red's 1 and 3. Or 1 and 4. Sorry about that. So instead of being 2 and 3, red's 1 and 4. Big difference. It's like looks like he's bringing it in the same one. They're really working this what we call in-turn line, so that elbow kind of turns in on a right-handed throw. So you say in-turn or out-turn instead of right-handed or left-handed. Got a shout out to all the lefties out there. There is a left-handed spiel. Definitely look that up. So all the in-turns and out-turns will be backwards. Red Rock has him on the broom pretty hard, right over top. All three sweepers there. All three sweepers. And it looks like it's half guarded that one. Half guarded that one. So it was it looks like it was a bit light from where they wanted. Had a very good shot, half guarding that. So it looks like Andy is going to kind of is taking a look at whether he can get it through there, get it through that port. So Brian's holding the broom for Andy. They're just trying to see if they want to draw or hit. And it looks like with that ice, they've decided on the draw. Just kind of. I guess there's always two ways to guard things. There's put up a guard out front. Of course, with our not new anymore, but 5 guard rule, 5 rock rule, you can't remove those guards if they're outside the rings. But there's another way to guard it. You can kind of put a rock in front and behind, and it kind of makes it really hard to get rid of. I just called this the Andy Spear team, but they actually have a name. It's BFFs. I'm sure it's a play on Brad Forrest. A well inside joke. Brian's got him on the broom hard through, right through that port. Very nice shot. Very nice shot. Good takeout. Now yellow's sitting 1, 2, 3. Really nice curl, and it just rolled behind just a bit there too. Really nice shot. So now looks like Bill's in a little bit of a pickle. Trying to figure out whether he wants to try to raise those reds or draw to the back button, or just sit on top of it and do the same thing and maybe limit that damage. So instead of having drawing against 3, next time he'll be drawing against 1. Looks like Bill decided on a shot. Just by that ice, it looks like he's trying to raise the red. Um, get those reds a little closer, maybe move them around, jostle them a little bit so we can see the shot next time, since he does have hammer, odd hammer, so odd end hammer. Oh, big weight, just threw that thing. It's over curling just a bit. So they have him sweep. Oh, wow. So he missed everything. Whew. Yeah, I don't know. I think he was going for the run back. Just over curled just a bit. Easy to do on the Charlotte ice. Has really nice curl. But for bringing it across your body or you kind of flail a little bit, then it makes a pretty good shot look like you weren't even trying. Andy gets in the hack. Looks like he's going to try to put another one in there, make it really tough on him. Really tough on Bill. Well, sweepers are on it just from hog to hog. They're on it the whole time. Brian's got him sweeping. They're worried about it over curling. Now he has him off. He let it hit that guard and plug that hole. Nice throw. Good weight. Right outside the ring, so he's really only got this run back to limit damage. He could try the takeout run back, but looks like there's a little bit. I can't tell because, of course, I'm not sitting in the hack, but it looks like he's got about a quarter of a rock that he can see there. So they're talking about it. Just give it a level update going across. So on our fourth end, it looks like Red's got a really nice setup again. Got 3 rocks lined up in the 4 foot, just 2 sitting 1 and 2. And then the Dan O'Toole team, the Yellow Rocks, have 3 and 4. So it looks like Dan has called a little tap up to try to get one in the rings and have that guarded up. And then got the Simpson Crosby Cleveland Peachtree, Atlanta and Cleveland. Yeah, they're on the sweep of hard. They're just trying to get that thing not to curl, not to go up top, but it hit that guard. Yeah. So now they're guarding up the yellow. There he goes, throws that thing in, and he might have got a little bit of a biter there at the end. Dan is not scared to bring the heat, bring the weight. All right, so we're back on sheet C. Back on sheet C, Bill's in the hack. So it looks like they've decided on trying to double off these and just limit their damage to 1 or 2 potentially. So he does bring a lot of weight. It's a little out wide. Wanting that thing up. They're on the sweep. They're on the sweep. Really hard. Linda's got him curling sweep really hard. Oh, he got a nose hit out of it. And he did knock out that one in the back, but it looks like we've still got 1 and 2. Yep, it looked like 2 yellow. So 2 yellow right down there. So we go to the fourth end. It's a steal at 2. Oh, I missed the whole fourth end. So steal at 2. So it's 5-1. We're on the fourth end. Yeah, I didn't get that score updated. They didn't hang that score, but I did see that one. So we're on C. So now it's 5-1, going to the fourth end. Got everybody on the fourth end now. Everybody's on the fourth end, and as you'll definitely hear in the broadcast as the warm room starts waking up, as we get our C and D, third and fourth event semifinalist here. If you stay with us all day, we'll be playing down to the finals. We'll be done here about 1:30 in our um, so looks like one red into the fifth end. And it looks like that's a shake. So on sheet D, after the fifth end, 9-1, they shook. After the fourth end, I'm sorry. And it's been a long weekend of curling for these folks. So as they come up here, and so congratulations to all the teams that made it to Sunday. Making it to Sunday's a big deal. Means you kind of ran the gamut in a 48 team spiel. So right at half those teams get to play a game on Sunday, and some will play two. And so our A final will be at 1:30. We will try and have some commentary for that, and we'll wherever that wherever that A final is, we'll be commentating that game. It's tough if it's a big full warm room and it's on sheet B, because if you know about our warm room, we have a little Hornet. It's off to the right, and that's where we've put our media. Uh, that's where we put our media. So, all right, back into live action here on sheet C. It looks like we have a corner guard for red, the Marshall rink, and Rocket City Spear, Andy Spear rink. He had him throw into the back 12. Um, Looks like our second lead rock. They've come down top 12, and I can't tell if it's out counting that yellow. It's early yet in the end, so there's not going to be a lot of stress about that. Oh, we got rocks all clinking clanking. You can't see it, it's off camera. They were trying to get all their rocks set up, so Andy was waiting to call his shot, but we had a couple rocks that kind of floated out of the little rock space back there. Um, I know there's a lot of pops and clicks. Again, this is version 1.0 of the commentary and the production. So as we get fewer and fewer sheets, as we get sheets there, we've got some overlays that we can actually zoom in, try and zoom in on just one sheet. So as the yellow rock comes in, it looks like it's got a little heat there. Bill tried to sweep it just a bit. Don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's out of the rings. So you got a red corner guard and a red in the top 12, and two in the back of the house for yellow. So as we move to seconds rocks, yeah, you can definitely hear as teams come off the ice. You'll hear some more background noise, and as it gets too loud, just let us know. I'll try to put the threshold up just a little bit more, so the threshold of it, what picks up on the mic, is a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Looks like it's got to be 40, so I'm gonna knock that down to about 36, 38 decibels. So I'll have to talk a little louder, but that's okay. So our next rock, that red rock, just went back there, took out that yellow rock, and stuck right there. So it's got a little half guard. It looks like, well, no, it's fully open. The overhead camera shop is really nice. Oh, he's got him on the sweep really hard, really hard, really hard. That thing's diving over, just diving up, has him off. And just that's why we keep those rocks in play, folks, in the back. If they're not, the rink is all the way back to the back corner, so there's quite a bit of space there in that corner. You never think that those rocks come in play, but as a yellow rock hit, it looked like it hit and now is biting. So if that was there's no rock there, there's no chance that that's biting. But with that rock in the back quadrant there, it just ticked and rolled right back into the ring. So definitely something to as you are skipping or playing, you kind of notice a lot of times if it comes out of the rings, those skips just kind of drag those things out really quick. Just make sure that that something's touching the line. So this one looks like they're staring at it really hard, hoping to for it to slow down. That red rock just it never did. After we get to the fifth end, it's definitely the ice is sped up. So, so A and D are the sixth event, the F event semifinals. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. That was the E event, the fifth event, and then the center, um, the the center will be uh, the F event. So fifth and sixth are playing A and D. So those are the semifinals, and then the semifinal is B and C. So as Andy's shot comes down here, looks like they're just kind of deciding whether it's weight or line. So these ladies are sweeping hard. They're trying to get it close. Trying to get it close. Don't want that thing to curl. Very nice shot. Right in the 4 foot. They're happy. Happy with that. A little bit of space there. So that thing over curls just a bit, then may jam. So it's calling for that hit. Just a hit to kind of move it over. Oh, no. He's just kind of putting to the button. Just having the button shot. So right there, changed his call. At first he was thinking maybe a hit would have been good there, but now he's like, nope, just put it on the button. As she comes out of the hack, oh, they've got it. Now they're on the sweep. On the sweep. Sweepers are sweeping hard. Looks like they're sweeping for line here. It looks like it has plenty of weight, although it's dying a little bit. Just kind of sweeping for line, sweeping for line. That over curl to the outside of the yellow rock, outside the yellow rock. But like we talked about before, just trying to limit that big score. You know, we got a very close game here, a really good game. Andy Spear and Bill Marshall. So with Bill being hammer, you know, another one in the rocks is not a bad thing. Another one in the rocks is not a bad, or in the house is not a bad thing. So lots of rots in the house. Brian Petard slides out. Looks like second vice rocks for him, or second, third. I like vice. Feels like you're, um, you know, Brian comes in. Oh, he's got him on the sweep, and he gets that little tick. Little tick puts it right on the button. Really happy shot for them. So now they're. Seems like Bill's going to come in, and he wants to take it out. He wants to. He says, "Linda, throw it to the parking lot. Throw it to the parking lot as hard as you can." Got a really tight game down on sheet A. They're going to the fifth end. The score is 3-2. 3-2. Wall from Knoxville. May move down to that game as this goes along. We'll see. I do go from sheet to sheet. I know we have a featured sheet and all that, but when we see a close game and we see good curling, we're gonna definitely go to that sheet. Especially near the end to ends, I'll kind of take a look, see what I see. Nice takeout from Linda. Got both those rocks out of there. She's smiling. She should be smiling. She gets a nice little back pat from Bill there. Really, really quality shot to sit for. We got Andy's feeling a little pressure. It looks like not calling a lot of ice on this takeout, and he's a little narrow. He's probably got him on the broom, on the sweep. Oh, looks like it's coming in nicely. There you go. You got both. Nice, nice double takeout. Limit the damage. Gets a thumbs up from Brian. Very nice shot. Very quality. It's okay if he was narrow there, obviously. End result. So now we're going to the first skips rocks. First skips rocks. So we see this now and now more and more where higher levels of curling where you have a bunch of rocks in the house and in a couple of shots with a couple of double takeouts you get a pretty clean house pretty quick. So that's the danger of not throwing a lot of guards early is you put them all in the house and then you have a couple of good weight takeouts and definitely can change that end, flip that end. Bill slides out. He looks like he's coming with a big weight takeout. Linda's got him off, got him off, got him off. Very nice takeout. Still sticks around. He's got three in the house that counting up 1, 2, 3. Now those back two are almost equal, even. It might not look like on the broadcast. It might look like one is significantly in front of her. So we're so now kind of a little bit of a discussion. Now they're just trying to figure out the line. I know a lot of folks out there. Um, I don't know what you would call here. We had three rocks outside the 12. That is a really tough spot. Put Andy in. Being up 4. Looks like it's like just a draw. Just trying to freeze back there on that one. Maybe knock it out. Oh, they're sweeping hard. They're sweeping hard before they get to the hog line. They're bringing it in as hard as they can. Yep, and now the third sweeper's coming. Third sweeper's coming. They're sweeping, and they got a biter. A biter. I was hoping for a little deeper than that. So Bill's got a nice opportunity here. Got a good chance to a get his four and tie this game back up, going down to the sixth end. So I must have messed up the ends a bunch because it looks like they're just not hanging this, and I'm on the wrong end. So that's what happens when you change scores and you're changing scores, doing the video, and trying to do audio overlay. So it looks like this is just trying to get one in the full eight. Just going on the full eight. Oh, we're sweeping. Just getting it there. We're just trying to get there. Gosh, that thing's just dying right at the hog line. So it looks like three red. So it looks like they came storming back. They're up one. Yeah, coming to the fifth end. Going across, looks like we've got a lot of guards down on the canodal sheet there. A lot of guards. So they're going to clear a few of those out is the idea. Oh, wow. Almost got them all. Almost got them all. Man, that was a really nice, really nice move. Two guards and ran theirs back and trying to sit on the button. So now, Chris. It looks like Chris and Matt are there deciding what port to try to draw through. Trying to sit one there right at the top of the top of the top of the 12 or a 3 guard. The B draw we just had looks like they're on it hard. Trying to get a draw in there. Draw on the back one. They're sweeping hard. They're sweeping hard. It must be for line or weight. It must be weight. There it is. Back to sheet C. Yeah, I was on the wrong end and everything. I gave them two twice, and nobody's out there correcting me. So it is now the fifth end. Fifth end start. We had two lead rocks, one thrown through, or I'm sorry, one hogged, and then one very close to being through, but it's on the back 12. So I will take that. So now it's the Andy Spear Rocket City has hammer down one. Fifth end. It's been a roller coaster, kind of back and forth. Very closely matched game. And they're looking to get this one across. Line looks good for a center guard as they bring it across the hog line. Now they're just trying to get it really close. Really happy with that. Just about a foot or two, well, maybe just 2 full feet off of center. And the center guards placed very close to the center line are really useful for skips. Skips out there, having those things having those things off the center just a bit doesn't seem like a big deal. And for most club curlers, it's not, but it's just guarding that forefoot instead of the button. So you're really trying to guard the button and then play to the center. But guarding that forefoot, it's really, really good. And so here we go, coming in off the hog line. They're sweeping hard. They just want to. Looks like they're going for a corner guard there, and that was a little wider as you get out into the freshly used off ice. We call that frost. And after 5 ends, even an hour here in humid, beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, you build a little frost on the ice, and so that can slow a rock down, a few feet, maybe even up to 10 feet if you get it really far out. So nice takeout there on sheet B. All right, back to sheet C. It's like the Bill Marshall sheet. He's going to use that center guard. Try and curl behind it. Looks like it's just over curling just ever so slightly, and it just ticked a bit. He's going to sweep that and try to get it in. Try to make that useful there. But you are definitely welcome, Josh. I can see the yeah, and that 99% of the work was Ryan Smith. He's built the computer, got the stream set up, talked to TESN, did all that work, and so now I'm just doing that. So definitely we'll start to hear some 80s music in the background. So as we start to wake up here, we're only allowed non-alcoholic drinks here until 10 a.m. Although nobody seems to be worse for the wear. Late last night, I think there will be some prom king and queen pictures. All right, so that was a little heavy on that shot, but it is sitting in the back eight, and it looks like it's well guarded. Looks like they're trying to sit on that back one. Now they're getting on it right before the hog line, sweeping hard. That thing's diving over. Barely skinnies that guard, but they're still sweeping hard, trying to get that thing buried and shot. Buried and shot. Hand goes up. That was even Bill's hand. They said that's the beautiful thing about curling. So when you see a good shot by the other team, you just give them a little love. You just say, yeah, really nice shot. And you actually mean it. Even if you say it through your teeth, you're like, nice shot. It's like they're coming the other way around. Just trying to. Looks like Linda let it go. They're not sweeping it much. They're letting this thing curl. Actually rooting for it to curl. It's got a little heat on it. And it just got back to that back red. Andy gave it 6 feet of fury. swept that thing to the back 12. It's hard sometimes outside the 4 foots. Kind of like skip secret here is especially on sheet C on that intern side, kind of going towards our logo, and just for some reason each year, each time we scrape, it's a little less curl on that side, just a touch less, and that would have made a big difference on that shot. So Brian Petard comes out, lets his go. They've got it. They've got up. They're just trying to get a guard here. Oh, it's coming in pretty hot. It's hard to throw two shots of the same weight. Might be just ticking this just ever so slightly and just driving that back. Putting two in. Looks like he's 1 and 2. It's really tough with the other end there, and the overhead shot doesn't really do a great job of. But it looks like that's definitely 1 and 2. So what Bill's saying is, it's okay if we just want to take out. We don't care if that thing hits the guard. Just gets that thing out of there. Gives me clears that guard. Those two shots there are pretty dangerous. There she goes. Big weight. Big weight. It's coming across. Coming across. We're rooting for that thing to curl just a bit. And she got the back one. Also got her own. I don't know if that's a triple takeout, but that was a lot of weight. Got that yellow shot out. Cleared up the house just a bit. Yeah, I will have to put my. I guess Josh or somebody will have to tell me if my commentary's not delayed enough. I'm going to try to put it on a bigger delay. Yeah, I have an 80 millisecond delay, so I may have to go to a little higher delay, but only someone out there in the YouTube world will have to tell me that. So we got the Brian's second shot. Still a little hot. Still a little more heat. So it's still sticking around, back 12, and it knocked that thing right underneath that guard. So Bill must think he can see the shot, see this yellow rock. He's skating down towards us. He keeps looking, keeps kind of seeing how much of that yellow rock he can see, or if he's just going to try to run this red back. So as he kind of sets up in the hack. There you go. Looks like red has gotten another steal on the A sheet. So Wall from Knoxville took another steal. They're well on their way in the sixth end, and they have three in the house there. So with on one undercover, so they've got a nice setup going on in sheet A. And the Crosby team from Peachtree stole again. So they've stolen. They got their one on the third end on hammer, and then stole on the fourth, stole on the fifth. We're in the sixth end there, 4-2. Some really close games as we start come down the stretch here, the sixth end. So, looks like Bill got that guard cleared, or cleared well enough. Got that thing out of there. So looks like Andy as he walks down. I'll even say saunters down. So like it, Andy gets in the hack. It looks like he puts a little pipe in his mouth. Definitely looking to guard here. Guard up that one. One's in the back, not so much. But throwing that perfect guard is sometimes the elusive perfect guard. So looks like he's wanting it not to curl, wishing it not to curl. So now it is guard and half guarding. It's pretty close. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough hit either way. It looks like Crosby from Peachtree is just walking down. He's trying to guard this up. It looks like he's laying four. He just wants to put a guard right there in the center and make it really tough to get rid of all of those. On the overhead shot on sheet C, looks like that guard is not. It's only half covering, but looking down here on the ice and from the hack, it's pretty well covered. So it looks like he's going to try to draw for one, or um, with his, yeah, this being Skips Rocks, he's just going to try to get his one, draw for one, go to the next end. They're sweeping hard before the hog line on B, and they have it up. They're just trying to get something right in that center line, get that front nose one so they can't do it. Got a two guard out of that. Nice job. He's got them sweeping pretty hard. Sweeping pretty hard. I don't, just a little bit. There he goes. He goes through, and then it sticks. A button shot. Gets his one. Has his one. Sitting shot. Yellow's hammer. So Andy's going to get in the hack and really try to look to take this out. And if he can get it to stick, then it'll be a three-ender. That'd be a big deal in this game. We haven't. I mean, it's not been a huge amount of scoring. So I cleared that guard on the B sheet. Now he's trying to, looks like draw in or cut him down. Just draw in. All right, big weight takeout. They're sweeping a bit, and Brian calls him off. They're just rooting for it to curl, rooting for it to curl, and it didn't. So that's a steal of one. Steal of one. So there you go. As we're coming back to the sixth end, it is Marshall Palmetto rink versus Spear Rocket City rink in Orlando. It's 5-3. Close game. We have a couple of Definitely it was. Right there on the button. Really tough to take out. And we can put a delay on the voice. I just went with the standard default. It seems like the folks from vMix have this down kind of down to a science. They every video I've watched, every little thing that I've done, they have a little user group. All right, we have a um, Bill Marshall rink set up a center guard. And as we're kind of updating you as we're going across the rink, we got a couple of 4-2 games. One red rink and the wall from Knoxville, and they're on the sixth end. They're most of the way through this end. It's a lot of humanity between me and the actual rink, so it looks like there's um, yellow sitting one. They're bringing some heat, bringing some weight, trying to double that thing off, and it just jammed. As we like to say in our team, we like to eat jam sandwiches. And so now it's sitting yellow too. Kind of a kind of a big turn of events there. That was a on that A sheet. We've got two yellow guards. I mean, two center guards, and then we go. Get a little tick and turn that into a corner guard, and then we have stacked red guards. That's really almost perfectly in a line. As this comes through on sheet A, that they're on it hard, and I think they're just making their skip feel better a little bit. Little little guard there. I couldn't tell what the call was. A guard is a really nice shot there because then it makes it so it's hard to run that. He just wanted that guard to be guarding that run back. So as they're kicking the rocks there on B, really tight game. Lots of rocks in the house. Got to love that. It's got to play well on television. Nobody likes to see a clean end. All right, bring the play inside. We're sticking with sheet C now. I'll kind of as the shots come along. Andy brought that rock in and said, "Let's play in the center, folks." Oh wow, they're on it early. On it early. Bill skating out just to help with the sweep. Yeah, they don't want this short. They don't want this short, and he's taking a look. See if this thing can overcurl a bit. Still leave that one exposed. Still looks like Andy's calling takeout here. Or, I'm sorry, guard. Guard here. Um, really wanting a guard here. Just guard up this top eight. So they're on the sweep before the hog line a little bit. They're just worried about weight. They're just bringing another one in. Almost the exact same weight. They're right even. I know that if, yeah, we're trying to juicy little takeout right here. If he gets any piece of either of these, it goes ahead and So another steal of one down on the B rink. Headed to the seventh end. There it is, a lot of weight. Trying to get both. Oh, sitting right on top, capped right on top. Nice weight, good roll. Yeah, they're pretty locked together. It looks like they're touching. Yeah, it's tomorrow the B team. I mean, the way the scoring's gone, it's been steal, steal, steal. So score one and three steals in a row, and they have a really nice setup for a steal again. They have a center guard with looks like two corner guards, and they've put one under the corner guard. So it's a really tough setup for Simpson from Cleveland. Looks like they got another draw in here. And it comes from the hog line. They're just looking at it, and then they're sweeping at the end. They're sweeping at the end. They just want that thing to touch four. Wow, nice, another nice draw. A little bit behind the tee line, but well under cover. So, so Simpson from Cleveland calls the run back, calls the corner run back. It's a tough shot. You got to know seventh end. You know the weight, you know the line at this point. So you're trying for this. So as he slides out, he's just trying for a little tap back. Oh, the sweepers are on it. They're on it hard. They're kind of up and down, which may mean that it's just going to draw in. A little over curl. Oh, wow. Got a little tick and a hit under the corner guard. That little tick kind of just slid it right across. And but still with yellow sitting one and two. That's on sheet B. So, so Bobby there, he just called a top 12. This on the YouTube, it's going to be hard to tell that what the shots are on sheet C, just because of the little angle. So we've got it looks like 1 and 4 is yellow. So he's trying to draw to this back one. But since he's sitting one, that guard just over curled just a bit, just a bit. So Bill thinks he can raise that red right in there. Still calling that standard 3.5 feet of curl there on the outside of sheet C. It looks like he's going to call this run back again on sheet B. So I'm kind of commentating B and C. So they're sweeping it hard coming down sheet C. They're really sweeping it hard. It looks like it's for weight. Looks like it's for weight and line. They just don't want this to crash the guard. But it overcurled just a bit. Just tap that guard forward. He's just looking for he's just looking for that. And he's just looking to blow this up. He's just looking to blow this up. And he's like, the time for takeouts has come. So there was a little warm room issue, so I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be back as quick as I can to get as soon as I get all the screens up in the warm room. And so enjoy the good curling. Okay, sorry for that. I just was trying to fix the warm room TVs, but for some reason it's um, not doing great. So after that shot from Bill and a little tap back undercover, So it looks like we've got red. Yeah, well, it's really hard to tell on sheet C. Looks like red is shot. Oh, definitely shot, but I mean the second shot. So yellow was like, nope, that can't happen. So we're gonna hit that out of there, get that. So second shot. It's very close, very close. But both skips seems to be on the same page, so they know who's who. Sheet A, it's a very clean sheet. Looks like sixth end was one for Canodal. So as they are setting up their next end, seventh end. A really close game down on sheet A. First couple rocks, it looks like red is playing in the house, and then they're going to back guard, like kind of reverse guard that on the center line. They've got hammer, and then yellow is thrown two, definitely two off center guards. So rank B in the seventh end. That was one red. I mean, that's on sheet C. That was one red. Kind of pushed it out. So definitely one red on that. They won't hang that score for a second, but we saw one red there. So they extend their lead to three going in the seventh end. Ring B, it looks like we really can't tell from up here whether that red rock or that whether that red rock or those potentially two yellow rocks are scoring. So it seems like red's playing to the other side. They're guarding up. I think either way, they're happy with. Here we go. They get a tight center guard. Kind of jam that up in the center there. Rink A, it's getting closer and closer. So as Bobby skates down, it's like he's looking to uh, maybe put one behind, maybe draw through that port, or it's not a lot of ice. So it might be the little heavy draw right through that port, trying to get us one sitting shot. So as he slides out, he's putting a little weight on this. Must be trying to get it. Yeah, and then they're sweeping it hard before the hog line. They're just really hammering it. They're just trying to get this out of the way. I think he didn't like that center guard place there. Oh, it nudged and then hit that back one and stuck. Hit and stuck. I'm pretty sure that's now shot. Pretty decent result out of that. Wow, our viewership has exploded. We haven't had 20 on the watch yet. Everybody's waking up in the morning after a nice little cup of coffee and it's like, let's watch some curling. And Crosby team from Peachtree kind of, I'm sorry, the Simpson rank from Cleveland on sheet B. He's got it coming in here. They really need it to curl a bit. As it looks from hog to hog, it's coming down. It just needs to knock those out, maybe roll behind. So they swept a little. Just got that first one out, bopped it back just a bit. It's looking like didn't curl enough. Definitely one yellow, and they're taking a look at this to see if it's two yellow. They kicked it out. I'm sure they knew what they were doing. They'll hang that score, but it uh, looks like up one red. Of course, from back here, it's really tough to see that overhead shot. Even with the overhead shot, it's a little distorted. So those really tight shots, I mean, it was pretty obvious to the players, but to us, it's a little tough. So so coming home, it's one red. So this is the eighth and final end. Coming back towards us on sheet B with Simpson from Cleveland trailing Crosby from Peachtree 5-3. Oh, so we're getting down to it. The scores are getting closer in the on sheet A. We've got looks like yeah, this is the second skipped rocks for the Canodal rank. They're looking like they want to try to um, put another rock in the house, and they're just. Do you have any sand in your pocket? Because he didn't want it to slide through, but he did sweep a bit, and it was just behind the button. Really solid shot. So it looks like Yellow's sitting 1-2. Big shout out to Kyle Markham. He's fixing the in-house TVs. On the B rank, they had a center guard placed, and then they just knocked that center guard over to a corner guard, really corner guard, outside the 12 foot. That's it's a high level shot. Leads, we're seeing more and more on high level curling where if you place a center guard, they're asking their leads to just hit that thing halfway and make two corner guards out of it. It's a tough shot, but I'm going to start asking my lead to start trying it more and more because if it's a solid shot, you turn a center guard into two corner guards. That can swing an end pretty well, especially if you're coming home and you're trying to score. So sweeping that thing, getting a little biter. That's Red Rocks as the Cleveland Rocks. I know, I just said Cleveland Rocks. Cleveland Rocks. On sheet C, we've got the Andy Spear Rocket City team, and it looks like they're sitting 2-3. But that one in the back, red, seems to be out counting it. So Andy has Brian bringing it in, and it just ticks the guard, and slides that over to a center guard. A little shake of the head. He's a little frustrated with that shot. Understandably, if he gets that thing to curl around and sticks on the button, that's really nice setup. All right, so we're coming home on the eighth end. They're trying to get this thing started. And Wall from Knoxville got one on their hammer. Got one on their hammer. So they are up 5-3 with the Canodal rink. So it's 5-3 coming home. So it looks like they threw in the wall rink. They just threw in to take a look at it. So on our B rink, coming home where Red's got one out of the house, one in the house. This could be a 5 rock rule where if he hits that top one, nope, but he hits the back one. Really nice shot, really precise. I don't know if that other one is biting, and looks like Simpson was also saying, okay, is this thing biting? And he decided it was because he's going to take it out. So up, they're on it hard on the B rank. They're just sweeping really hard. Wanted to curl. They're giving a lot. They're up. Up, they're sweeping the whole time, the absolute whole time. This might be really nice. It might just be a nice little tap up. Tips it in. Yep, there you go. Pretty happy with that shot. We're going to take this out. And he points to his chest, which normally means normal weight. It's if you're not familiar with that, that's just normally what you would throw really hard. So it's not peel, definitely not board or control, but he threw that pretty. He's wanting that to curl. I think he wants it to curl a bit more. So even though he hit that high side, it took a ton of energy off that rock, but it's still sliding, and with a little bit of a sweep, it gets out. So seems like he's pretty happy with that. They both look at it, see if it's in play. Yep, it's touching the line, so they'll kick that out of there. Thanks, Chris, for helping with that one. Chris Berry was over there sporting the pineapple pants. I did an in-depth interview with him this morning. He said these are my lucky Sunday pants. So it looks like a nice end setting up for red. We can don't know if you can see that setup or not, but we got two kind of offset guards on the D rink, or I'm sorry, A rink. D rink is done. A rink, and then we've got one inside there, one red inside. It's halfway undercover. It looks like on the feed that it kind of is a little bit offset there, but it's pretty much halfway undercover. So he looks like Wall from Knoxville is trying to get this to curl around that center guard. They're on it hard. They're on it hard. They're sweeping. They're sweeping. Got watch out for that rock, and it gets around. So they're going to bring it in. They're going to bring it in, and they're real happy with that sweep. And a lot of hands go up on that shot. Top 12, right there. There we go. Clear them all out of there. Rink B's just trying to keep it clean. One's a win for Crosby from Peachtree. So now Simpson is he's got they've got some options. They gotta kind of figure it out. So put it under cover or try to just put it out in the front there where it's easily hit. Oh, this is a nice shot by Yellow coming in on rink A. Sweep it hard. Oh wow, that is really tight line there. But threw it right through that port, and Yellow doesn't look like they're out counting that number one red there. But really nice shot, really good weight. This is a really tough draw behind this Yellow on the outside, so it's just a bit heavy, but Uh, that's that seemed like their only chance is to put something under cover, make it really tough for them to clear it. So definitely Crosby is no rocks. He doesn't want any. He doesn't want them to figure out that line. So just throw it as hard as you can. Clear those out. Make it a completely clear rink. So yeah, looks like looks like she's out there. They're up. They're sweeping it hard. They're sweeping it hard. Maybe just a nose hit here. Yep. So no harm, no foul. Just a little nose hit there. Still has that little easier now to put it under cover with one rock higher. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, yeah. This red rock's coming in. They're trying to follow it just right on that port, but that just shows you how good that last previous shot was because it's really tough to get the weight and the line control for that little port there. So they threw it through, but it ticked that guard and actually guards up the red rock, which they're happy about that. They're going to be happy with that guard because they're sitting shot. So I know that was a. Oh, they're kicking the rocks. So I don't. I couldn't really tell. Maybe somebody on the broadcast. It looks like it's a. It was a one for Spear from Rocket City. I don't know. They kicked the rocks really quickly because I don't think that rock changed any of the scoring, and they have to get in the hack. It looks like there's only 12 minutes on the clock, but our clock got started just a bit late. I guess we were asleep on the wheel or whatever. So they can get this eighth end in, and so I'm going to take off the timer. So we're just playing down to 8, and it looks like that's it. That's the final. That's the final. So there was a blank on the final end there for Peachtree, Crosby to Peachtree. So, so they got the eighth end started here. I don't. I still. I don't know. I think it was one for Andy Spear rank, but as soon as they hang that score, yep, it was. It was one for Andy Spear. So they are down two, coming home. So we got an interesting rink setting up on the eighth end in the A sheet. So on the A sheet, it's looks like yellow sitting 2 and 3, red sitting 1, and they may have a shot here to try to do some what Omar says is tic tac um, curling. So they're trying to find out what angle they can get that red out or push it back just a bit. It's a little risky shot though because if you bring a lot of weight and you don't get that backing, and you may not get that steal of 2 that you need. So on sheet C, as they were coming down, we have two. It looks like not center guards though, because that one is biting. Unfortunate. So, oh, it's just gonna nose. Watch out. So they just get a couple guards. That's okay. Guards fine here. I think Andy would be is happy with any guards. It's gonna run this back. Here we go. Run it back, double run back, and trying to get it to stick. over curl just a bit. This is coming in hot. Good line. Got around the guard. Just couldn't get it to stick. Nice canodal from Atlanta. Kind of surveys the. They do have hammer. So seems like he's waiting on the shot of the run back. Trying to tick some things around. See if there's. All right. So he looks like he's calling out turn handle. Can't tell the weight that they decided on. It was just a really quick flick. I figure since they're family, it doesn't take much. I know that my teams that I've played want two grunts and a little flick. Can tell a lot. So it looks like this is takeout weight, and then just clears those guards, and then we get a little roll right in. Huh. So did remove one of those guards, but now we're starting to pile in here with that one lonely red. So we're down on sheet A. If you're watching this, we've got four guards on sheet C. Four guards. I would split the screen and let it get rid of B and D, but we just don't have that capability yet. We will once we get our proprietary versions. We'll be able to. I think we'll go to two sheets per screen, so A and B, or B and C will be on one, and we'll commentate those, and then A and D will be on a different one with the scores on the other. So, wish y'all had smell-o-vision out there. We got some cinnamon buns in the oven. It's pretty amazing. All right, and another guard. So we're throwing five guards, three reds on the broadcast right. I did sit on the Cleveland Rocks till the very end, but I was hoping that they could come like way back and then Cleveland Rocks. But Crosby kind of knew that that was what I was doing, and then cleared that rink of all the rocks. Looks like Bill is calling for Linda to draw in here. Go ahead and take the play into the rings. Looks like Chris Berry's getting ready in the hack. He's they're they've got a. It looks like they're going for either a tap back or a draw behind. Oh, I don't know. The weight's all there. He says he's signaling to his team it's a little heavy. It's a little bit heavy. So it's looks like it's going to be a tap back. And the sweepers are waiting, but oh, it slid by. Slid by. Now he's on it. The canodal. There you go. Sweep, sweep, sweep. 6 feet of fury. So Chris is not happy with that shot. He just needed that to be light. But here at the end, I mean, the pebble's holding up. We double pebble here for especially for championships. So this pebble's going to hold up really well all through 8 ends. All right. So it looks like Brian's coming with a hit. Just a bit narrow. Ticks that over. It almost gets the takeout on the back end. Whew. So now Bill is going to guard this up. He just threw in and he's going to guard it up. Canodal Rink is just going to try to hit this in and tap it in, and he's tapped his shot. Really nice shot. Perfect weight on that takeout. Now he's sitting one with hammer. One with hammer. This is going to come down to the last shot, folks, it looks like. Up, sweep, 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 sweep. We're sweeping it for that, and then we get a one guard right over the line. A little bit of sweep at the end. So, Red Rocks on C. Bill Marshall from Palmetto sitting one with a wall of guards out front. And Andy Spear, Rocket City needs two. He needs two to tie this up and go to skipstones. Lots of talking at these last shots, really key shots in the game. You've built up some talk time, and you definitely want to use it on these last few shots. So here we go. Um, Andy threw his first or second skip zone. He's got to get this to tick and stick. So, and it overcurled just a bit and knocked a red in. Knocked a red in. So we do have that was his first skip stone. I'm sorry, first skip stone. So we're just trying to. Now he's got a wall of guards with a whole lot of backing. So for putting magnets on the board, Bill has to like his position. Look like the wall rank decided on a guard, just trying to guard these tap ups, just trying to guard, put it down to the skip stones. So the nodal rink is definitely discussing their options. They're just worried about that guard that just got there. So we're just trying to get that a little wider. Bill's hawking this rock. He's just wanting to get it over the line. Just put another. Yep, really nice. One guard, two guard. Really happy with that. Just make it really hard on them on the run. So Nodal is really staring down this line. I know with me is when I'm coming up with these shots at the end, having to see he's trying to take a look and see if he feels like this can curl up the hill and get it out of there and get a big number. I think if you could hit and stick, it would be 4, and that would be the winning shot. But if he could even slash this out, it would be 2, and that would be a tie game. So this is the first skips rock, so sometimes you feel like you want to take a few more chances on that first rock. So here we go. Andy is bringing a lot of weight, just trying to get 2 rocks in and sit 2. Hit 2 rocks in and sit 2. He's just trying to get that thing over. Oh, that's unlucky. So We're out of rocks. I don't know if Bill's going to throw this last rock or not. Up there, shaking hands. And so we're going to zoom in on, I'm going to go ahead and throw the score up as a final. And all right. So we're down to the A draw. So with a little few clicks of the mouse, so we're going to go to sheet A. We're going to slide that over. There we go. And then score A, and we'll throw it up here. So this is 5-3. We're focusing right on sheet A. Uh, Congratulations to the Marshall rink. They just shook hands, and they'll be playing in our next draw in the final. So we're down to the final two rocks for both Wall and Canodal. I know I got to say the K in Canodal. So just a word of warning out there, since this is a one-man operation, since we're going right up until the time, and we got a little bit of ice, I'm going to set up the next draw and probably take the first two ends on just update scores. I won't be commentating the first two ends. Give myself a little bit of a break. I don't mind talking. This is what I do for a living, so I don't mind commentating through. But I'll come back on like the third end and then commentate the E and F for fifth and sixth final. So, all right, we're all ready. Setting up in the hack. Chris Berry's holding the broom there with his fancy uh, pineapple pants. Let's it go. Both sweepers are on it hard. They're on it hard right away. They're just looking for a little bit of oh, they're off now. They like where it's going. Chris is trying to get it close, and everybody's yelling. We're getting on it hard. They're they're just trying to get it to out count. They're just trying to get it out count, and I think Canodal just knows what he wants. He wants to hit this. He wants to hit this red out. If he can get this red out, then he's going to at least get a tie. And he may, if he hits and sticks it, it's going to be close. This is right down to it. In the warm room, I'm glad it's on sheet A because it's on the other end. And he let it go. They're up and up and up. He's trying to get it to curl a bit. Trying to get it to curl. And it never did. Never did. It just slid by right there. Really tough shot. Has to get it at the right weight. And it looks like it's one yellow. And congratulations to Wall from Knoxville for moving on. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And we will see you here in a few minutes. Good curling.